Good morning. It's Friday, March 20th. Tomorrow, spring arrives, and I heard it's going to be a beautiful weekend, so please find some time to get outside and enjoy it. As I was walking outside the other day, I passed a house with a beautiful fountain in the front yard, and I stopped to watch it for a minute. Slowly the water poured out the top, trickled down into a basin in this never-ending hypnotic cycle. I have a fountain at my house too, only this one is for punch. Mick bought it for me for one of my craft shows a few years ago. It has 3 tiers, and when I filled the bottom tier with punch and plugged it in, the punch rose to the top, filling the first basin. And once that tier was full, the punch would then overflow into the second basin and follow the same process way into the bottom tier. It worked great. A perfectly seamless process until I added fruit to the punch. The suction caused the fruit to jam the openings, and soon the bottom tier was filling up with punch as the tops continued to empty their tiers. I tried to unplug the openings, but the suction was too great. In a panic, I shut the machine off. What a mistake. As the suction stopped, all the liquid flowed back down into the bottom tier, and punch was everywhere. I thought about that and about how that fountain is a really good illustration of how we are to live our lives. See, in Ephesians, Paul tells us to be filled with the Spirit. Actually, in the original Greek, the idea is to be continuously filled. We're not filled once like a bucket. Instead, we are to be filled constantly, like a fountain. In fact, this verse might be translated as be filled and then keep on being filled. But what exactly does that mean? Well, according to Paul, when we are filled with the Spirit, we are filled with joy. We're humbled, grateful. In fact, in Romans 15:13, we read, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope." Wow, isn't that what you want? I certainly could use more joy, more peace, more hope. See, the Holy Spirit's presence in us releases new energy, gives us all sorts of abilities, power, and peace like nothing else. And this filling is meant to enable us to hang on, endure, even overcome some of the struggles we encounter. And I can't think of a better time than now to want to be filled, because I don't know about you, but it often seems like I experience one struggle after another. I mean, I finally get through a crisis only to slam into another one. And the truth is, sometimes no matter what we do, it's hard to find joy, peace, hope. But I've discovered that that's usually because we put the focus on ourselves. You know, that why me thing. But if, instead of whining and complaining, things that clog up the Spirit's flow, we instead focus on the goodness of God and God's mercies towards us, and sincerely ask God to fill us, God will. God will. And now sometimes this flow will be like a raging river, and that is awesome. But sometimes it's going to be just a trickle. But here's the thing. I have to make it a daily habit to ask the Father to fill me. Actually, I have to ask to be filled again and again every day. See, yesterday's experience is no good for today. Just as His mercies are new every morning, being filled is a day-to-day experience. It's like drinking water. Our bodies need it every day just to keep going, just to stay alive. And when I do that, I really do find that even if my situation doesn't change, my attitude changes. I become more grateful and joyful, more aware of all I do have. And I find what I need. I find the strength and the hope to keep going. That's the beautiful thing about God and the Holy Spirit. You know, We've gone through a lot this past year. The pandemic is a big part of it, but there was so much more besides that that many of us had to go through and experience, and many of us still are. Life, even without the coronavirus, is challenging at times. That's why it's so important for us to draw constantly on the power and presence of God in every part of our lives every day. So today, that's what I want you to do. I want you to trust in the power of the Holy Spirit. Open up and let God fill you up with all His good stuff, His really good stuff. Oh, and by the way, if you're ever hosting a party, I have a great fountain you can use. Just don't put any fruit in it. Now, please stay safe. Wear your masks, wash your hands, get vaccinated as soon as you can, and always find a reason to be hopeful. Know that I love you and I'm praying for you. Have an awesome weekend. I'll see you soon. God bless you. Peace.